What's happening YouTube? Custom Physique here, and welcome to episode 3 of my Road to Men's Physique. Let's do this. So let's start with the weight update. Last week I weighed in at 81.2 kilograms and this week I weighed in at, drumroll, 81.4 kilograms. So not a massive increase, which was a bit disappointing, not gonna lie. But that just means more food. So current macros are around the 3,570 mark, and that consists of 250 grams of protein, 330 grams of carbs, and 130 grams of fats. So in terms of what I'm eating at the moment, for breakfast I'll have a shake that consists of whey, peanut butter and oats. Then halfway through the morning I will go back to just having protein, fats and veg. So at the moment I've been having a chicken breast with some Philadelphia and garlic cheese and some green beans. Then moving on to lunch, again I will keep it as just protein, fats and veg. So for the moment with my lunch I'm having again some chicken, some avocado hummus for the fat sources, and then some sun-dried tomatoes, some mushrooms, sauerkraut and spinach for the veg. Very nice combination. Then mid-afternoon will be my pre-workout meal. So that's when I'll start introducing the carb back into my diet. So at the moment I'll be having either a carb killer bar or a carb killer shake as a quick source of protein. Then for the carbs I'll be having 2 bagels with some jam. Again, one of my favourite meals of the day. Then it's off to the gym, and I'm currently having 25 grams of dextrose in my intra-workout shake along with my BCAAs. So I'll work out, then straight after my workout I will have another shake with some quick acting protein in there. Then I will have 100 grams of cereal for some fast releasing sugars to replenish the glycogen. Then I will drive home, and straight away I'll have some lean beef with some peppers, some sort of tomato and mushroom sauce and some cottage cheese for some more protein. And then before bed I'll have some oats, some banana and some Clark's caramel sauce. If you don't know about Clark's caramel sauce, get to know, because the macros are ridiculous and it tastes banging. So given unfortunately my weight increase this week was quite pathetic, I'm going to go for a slightly larger increase in calories and macronutrients than I would usually do to really try and push that weight up, get over this plateau that I seem to be hitting. Although to be fair, I'm not convinced it's really a plateau, and it's more that my metabolism is slowly starting to get back to firing the way it should. And with mine it's like a furnace. The more food I seem to give it, the higher it seems to burn, which is a nice problem to have, to be fair. I just need to keep eating food, which is great. So next week I'm going to be increasing the calories to 3,750, and that's going to be 260 grams of protein, 350 grams of carbs and 135 grams of fat, and then we'll see how we get on. Whereas last time I increased my post-workout carbs, this time the carb increase is going to come intra-workout, because I do tend to go balls to the wall with my training, as you should, and so I think that I'll benefit from an extra 25 grams of dextrose and see if that helps, so that my body just utilises the dextrose that I'm giving it throughout the workout as its fuel, and it won't tap into any of the carb stores that my muscles are holding and using for repair and growth. So hopefully that'll work. I'll keep you guys posted. So in terms of training, as I mentioned last week, I was going to take the opportunity this week because I've got a little bit of tendonitis and I was due to go see the chiropractor, which I did this morning, which I'll update you on. I thought I'd take the opportunity to have a deload week to see how that works, because generally I was feeling quite tired anyway, so I thought it'd probably be a good point 8 weeks into the bulk to have a deload, let my body repair, have a little chill out and see if it helps me grow. As I mentioned in the last video, I was always one of those people that, because I'm so skinny naturally, I always found that mentally, probably more mentally than physically, I always felt bigger, and I always felt heavier and looked better the more I trained, and I never thought that rest days were beneficial. But as I get more mature in my training, I do see the benefit of the rest. So I'm really trying to force myself, as much as I want to go down to the gym and hit some weights, to let my body repair itself, give it some time to rest, to recover from the constant batterings that I'm giving it. So it's kind of hard to tell how that went this week. I think the results will really show next week when I go back into my strength rotation. So I'll keep you guys posted. Hopefully we'll get some good results. The weight will shoot up, the numbers will shoot up. So hopefully it's worked its magic. One of the good things about the deload week is because I halved my training sessions, the amount and both the volume, so the time I was spending in the gym, I had a lot more time to do other stuff, go to social events, hang out with friends and so forth, which was a really nice break rather than always being 100% focused and dedicated only on training and nutrition. It was nice to get out there, do something different, spend time with the people that I love. So as I mentioned, I went to see a chiropractor today, which was absolutely amazing. I've never been to see a chiropractor before. I was always one who was always more concerned about muscles, so I'd always go see physios and osteopaths thinking that all the problems I was experiencing with my glutes, my shoulders and my back and everything would be sorted out by physio. And whilst there was an element of that, because I tend to previously be really slack on my stretching and my foam rolling and preparing myself adequately for the sessions, those did help because I'd have tight muscles and I'd need some trigger point release and so forth, but those weren't the underlying issues. And going to see the chiropractor really got to those underlying issues, and it turns out, and I've really noticed it recently, which is what pushed me even more to go see the chiropractor, even though it was something I should have done ages ago, was when I was looking at my progress pictures, I could clearly see there was quite a big imbalance in my back, particularly from my left and my right side. The left just seemed to be a little bit higher than the right, and it really started to bug me, especially in this game where everything's about symmetry and everything looking like one sculpture rather than a right side and a left side kind of like mismatched together. So I went to see the chiropractor. It was absolutely brilliant. He did loads of adjustments on me, so I'm going to carry on going to see him. And he actually provided me with quite a good analogy, and it was essentially, obviously the chiropractor is kind of just like a mechanic for a car. If you take yourself as the car, they're the ones, every time there's a little niggle, they'll go in, they'll do some adjustments, you'll go off and you'll just carry on driving normally. And then if you go for a race and then you see that something else needs tuning, you go back and you see them. So I'm definitely going to keep on top of going back to see the chiropractor. For those of you who haven't seen a chiropractor before but are having problems and going to see a physio or an osteopath doesn't seem to be working, I highly recommend going to see the chiropractor, because it's so far, even though I haven't tested it out in the gym yet to see how much more strength I'm going to have as a result in my form and so forth, so far just from that one session, I highly recommend it. Particularly because one thing that was really interesting is we did a test, because I told him that my left shoulder was kind of bugging me and playing up when I was training. He did a test where in turn I'd hold my hand up and he'd apply pressure and I'd have to resist against the pressure, and I had absolutely no problem resisting the pressure with my right arm. But with my shoulder on the left hand side where I've been having the issues, as soon as he put pressure down, my arm just dropped and there was absolutely nothing I could do about it. And it was quite scary to see, really, that there was a clear problem with the muscle. But because a lot of the time when you train, even when you try and isolate certain muscles, there's so many other muscles that assist with the movement, you don't feel so much that there's that much of an imbalance. But when you really isolate it, these problems really show and they're really highlighted. And by the end of the session, the strength had gone back up completely, because there was essentially a blockage in my trap in my neck which wasn't communicating to the rear of my shoulder. And once that was all blocked and everything was firing properly again, it made the world of difference. So that's one thing I definitely learned this week, is to really take care of yourself, and if there's a problem, don't put it off. Go see someone who can help you, and hopefully it's going to massively improve my weights in the gym next week. So I'm really excited to get back in there, push some numbers and push the weight up. So that's it from me this week, guys. If you've got any questions about my training or my nutrition or how I usually tend to prep for a show, what makes me want to compete and so forth, then do leave me a comment. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episode. So that's it from me. Hope you have a great week next week. Peace out.